Hey there, what's up? It's your friend Phil here, project management trainer and coach. As you can see here, I hate sitting around doing nothing, so I decided I'd record a video for you about this new development about the whole PMP exam brain dump thing. So I'm here trying to pick up some food for my daughter here and probably give it about 2 minutes, but I'll share my thoughts. My thoughts are as follows. Regarding this whole brain dump thing, it's a little bit overrated. It's a little bit overrated. So PMI said, you've got 4 hours for the exam. Use the 4 hours to do whatever you like. Now, historically, people have had 15 minutes of free time to do brain dumps, even before those 4 hours start. Recently, PMI said, well, we're putting the lid down on that, and we're saying you have to do whatever you want to do within those 4 hours. The 15 minutes you get before the exam are for reading the navigation information and getting acquainted with the system. So for lots of you who've been to the Prometric Test Center, it's very easy to use a mouse. But if you don't go through the navigation tutorial, you miss out on some new features that they may have introduced. For example, I had taken about a couple of exams before I realized that there was actually a strikeout function. Did you know there was a strikeout function? I didn't know. I didn't know they had a strikeout function. And as a result, when I took my 2 exams before my ACP exam, it was finally on my ACP exam, I realized the 2 exams before that, I had no clue. And I missed out on the strikeout function. Even worse than that, a student of mine who went in to take the exam, this guy realized that he could have used, that there's a big map at the end of the exam that you can use to navigate. This guy didn't know. He was totally unaware of the fact that he could navigate using these controls at the end. So what did he do? He ended up using the previous button. Can you imagine pressing the previous button 200 times to do your to do your final check on the exam? That would have taken him a lot of time. Now, can you imagine if you had little time and you didn't know the instructions? But beyond that, talking about the actual brain dump itself, this brain dump folks do is typically page 61, isn't it? They do a brain dump of page 61, and the 47 processes.
Give me 571.
Thank you. They do the 10 knowledge areas, the 5 process groups, and it's really more of a comfort thing than anything else. It's really not going to help you answer anything more than. Thank you. In my estimate, it's nothing more than about 5 questions, maybe even 2 questions. There are a lot of people who don't even refer to that brain dump at all. So I would.
It is actually going to be just a minute for us to get your order ready. We're
Okay.
making more eggs fresh for you right now. Can I see your favorite part on that side?
Sure, no problem.
I'll put butter and syrup in there. Is there anything
Cool.
else you want?
That's all. Thank you. Yeah. So in my opinion, I think people are taking it a bit too far in getting all mad at the PMI. And I did a little survey on LinkedIn to find out from people, what do you really think about this whole brain dump thing? I'll put a link for you below. You can check in this video what people actually thought about this brain dump thing. The brain dump thing is a little bit overrated, because not doing the brain dump isn't going to make you fail the exam. Not doing a brain dump. I know there were a few people who felt PMI was a bit unfair, taking this 15-minute opportunity away to do whatever they wanted. After all, it's their time, is what one of the PMs who responded said. But if you look at majority of the contributions to this discussion, which I'm about to post below, you'll discover that most PMs said it's not a big deal, it's not a showstopper, it's not going to kill anyone taking that time away. Now, there were a few people who said without that time, it would have hurt them on the test. And with all due respect, 15 minutes doing a brain dump. What are you brain dumping? Come on, what are you brain dump? All you need for your brain dump, in my estimate of things, if you've really got your chops up to speed, you sharpen the saw, and you're ready to go crazy on the test, I don't see why you can't do a brain dump in 5 minutes. And I don't see why you need to write out every single process on page 61. We have to be smart here, you see. So if you're doing your brain dump, you want to abbreviate the process names. So develop project charter could easily become DPC. Develop project management plan could easily become DPMP or whatever. Develop project management plan, and so on. So don't write out the whole thing. And if you do it that way, it's like writing out 47 short words. It's like writing out maybe 5 sentences. So in my estimation of things, folks, within 2 or 3 minutes, you should be able to knock out page 61 if you are so inclined to do page 61. Okay? Now the other thing is the formulas. When you really break it down, the back-breaking formulas. I'm not saying write down every formula under the sun. No. Be wise, be smart. If you're spending time writing out all the formulas for present value and future value and net present value, you probably are wasting time, because those types of questions, few and far between. You probably, may not encounter a lot of those kinds of questions, if any at all. You see, so, people even go as far as calculating the payback period. You're going too far. You're going too far. So with all that first stuff from the initiating formula stuff, going into planning, a few of the formulas you might encounter are to do with the number of channels of communication. People going in to calculate the, what do they call it, the point of total assumption. Why are you wasting your time doing that? Why? You're wasting time. Go for the low-hanging fruit. If you're giving yourself sleepless nights doing point of total assumption, I feel sorry for you, because I can assure you very few of those questions will even have anything to do with calculations to start with. And very few of them will have to do with calculations from procurement. So what are you doing? Wasting time. Now, going into executing, there's really no formulas there. Monitoring and controlling formulas. The formulas in monitoring and controlling, we know where they're hiding. We know where they are, don't we? They're extremely heavy on earned value, aren't they? That ridiculous beep in the background. We know that a lot of those formulas in monitoring and controlling, they are from earned value. And the earned value formulas that throw people off are actually those formulas that are EAC type formulas, right? The EAC formulas throw people off. Hold on a second. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Cheers. So the formulas in earned value that really throw people off are the forecasting formulas, aren't they? They're those EAC formulas, those pesky EAC formulas. And the reason why it appears so difficult is because there are 5 of these formulas. Right? There are 5 of these formulas that we know. Or are they, well, 4 of these formulas. Let's take the 4 core formulas. So the 4 core formulas for EAC, if you spend time memorizing those, it won't really do much good. What you do need to spend time on is actually knowing the formulas and knowing the logic behind them and how to apply them. If you know the basic EAC formula, which is AC plus ETC, that will help you to know the other formulas, because EAC is equal to AC plus ETC. When you really boil it down, estimate to complete is your budget at completion minus earned value. See? Now, if you know that your earned value and actual costs are somehow related in the CPI, that will also help you with the other formula that we say is BAC divided by CPI. See? So if you really explore what is happening in these EAC formulas, it's all wrapped around AC plus BAC minus EV. You know, in one instance you could divide it by CPI, and in the other instance you could divide it by CPI times SPI. That's how you get those other formulas. So to write down those four EACs, in my estimation of things, it's probably going to take you 2 minutes. And to write down maybe TCPI will take you about 1 minute. So why do you need 15 minutes? We've become so used to 15 minutes that we're mad at the PMI for, saying they're not doing that anymore. While I think the PMI could have done it in a neater fashion, they could have passed out a memo, giving people a longer window of time, than just clamping the lid down. I still don't see a big deal in it. For my PMP exam, I started writing out that table and a few formulas, and just got to the point where I got so anxious to start the exam, I just had to scrap it and start the test. And after I started the test, I realized I barely referred to that Braindump. Barely referred to it. So it was more of a mandatory thing in my head. Oh, you have to do the brain dump, because a lot of my colleagues who had gone before me said they did brain dumps. But on getting to the test, I didn't even use my brain dump. I got so concerned with being absorbed in the questions for 1 hour, and at the end of 1 hour I had done 20 questions. That's what concerned me. I was so concerned that I had only done 20 questions in 1 hour. I didn't even think of the brain dump. I was too busy trying to decode what on earth they were asking me. So folks, don't be moved by this brain dump thing. It's not a big deal. Take a chill pill, go into the test, go with your A game, and do a good rehearsal before you get in there. Try to do your EACs in a couple of minutes if possible. Try to do your CPI, SPI, CV, SV if you need to. I know some people have some panic attacks on the test. So my advice to you is take a realistic mock exam. Here goes the phone. So I'm going to have to hang up, folks, because I think this is an important phone call. But I'll put some more of my ideas down below. Okay? Speak to you soon. Bye.